throwing on first down. Hayden. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
The man who was a prep All-American in nearby Antioch, it's Najee Harris.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. He doesn't find a ton of space following the display of quick feet down just inside the 45. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun, Hayden. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42.
And the 49ers are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive.
Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Off play action. Robertson. He'll go up top here for Hamler. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, 49ers.
Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
Point after here coming up. And the 49ers grab a 7-0 lead.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And we will not see a run back here from Harris.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one, because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that mind stays cluttered the entire time they're away, and they've got to scramble to get back in sync when they start playing again.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough, and I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt.
They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Now, they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Off the play fake. Robertson gets this one to Juszczyk. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Hold on a second. Was that the fullback? That was the fullback. Who says it to slot receivers? But the only guys can catch the football and get big yardage after the catch. Really nice job there, showing good hands and an ability to get upfield.
Running on first down is Mostert, but he can only manage a yard, and that's about it before he's tackled.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, a run with Mostert. First down and a little extra for Mostert. Touchdown, 49ers! Well, Raheem Mostert, we know the story, from special teamer to postseason hero. All he needs is a little bit of space, CD, and he can do the rest. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and it's now 14-0. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. No return there for Harris, and the drive will begin at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And, Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Cameron Jordan wreaking havoc with a sack.
Well, when you're down a couple of scores like this, CD, you can't afford too many plays that go in the wrong direction like that one.
Yeah, when you take a good look at it broadly, sacks are better than giving up an interception. But where they are on the scoreboard, they've got to get rid of all of that and just create positive plays for themselves in order to have a chance.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
You know, you're following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under. CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5. Time for our first check of the NFL scoreboard. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. Right?
And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. But sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and it's now 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And we will not see a run back here from Harris. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Eluding the pressure right. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. This up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a 1st down.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. From the gun, Hayden. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. 21-0 our score after 1. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 19. And he's got his target, Harris. And all the way down to the 5. A big play there on the catch and run. Well, it doesn't matter where you put him, lined up in the backfield or split out like he was there. He can be a weapon when he gets that ball in his hands.
Yeah, this is what we mean when we talk about flipping the field, having your offense look at going a long way to a short way after he makes a play. His ability to do that, evident. Able to make the catch there, keep his momentum going, and just continue downfield.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Looking to throw. Hayden. And it's caught. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The ball mere inches from the white line on 3rd and goal. Harris. And Harris is not going to get there. Great work defensively to stop him short. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. They run for it with Harris. They stop him up short on 4th and goal from the 1. And this 49er defense stands tall down near the goal line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Now it's 2nd and 9. They run out of the shotgun with Mostert. Evades him at the 10. And he's going to get this from the 6 out to the 12. A pickup of 6 as they double their workspace.
That's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
From the gun on 3rd down. Robertson. That's complete to Mostert out of the backfield. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On 1st down, Robertson escaping the pressure right. Rodgers brings it in. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. His throw incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. He looks for Ayuk again. This time he's got it. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Back to throw again. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Alex Highsmith in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. 64 was Matt Prater's record. This would top that by a yard. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the route is on. It's 24-0. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Hey, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence.
And that's caught inside the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Cameron Jordan able to record his 5th sack of the season.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start.
And this is going to be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And the Niners are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. And, Charles, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you try and force plays, right? You try and get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there. And you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game. But ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point.
It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. The first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Switch. Watch twins. He's coming. We got double up. Hey. Under 10.
They hand it off to Mostert. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Robertson. He'll go up top here for Hamler. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And this returnable for Harris. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
So now, just like that, things change dramatically. It's 1st and goal.
Check the hot read.
Looking to throw. Robertson.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Partner, this is almost an unwinnable spot for a defense. They have to come right out for a 1st and goal trying to stop them. But let me hold on a second. Let me take that back real quick. They can win here if they force a field goal try. Still a long ways away from that happening, but that has to be what they're thinking right now.
To throw on 2nd down. Robertson. And it's complete. In the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. K.J. Hamler. His 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that will extend this big lead.
Steelers nothing.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Hayden.
Open man completes it to Claypool.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a 1st down.
Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Looking to throw. Hayden. And the Niners get there and bring him down. The defense Giants rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
That's complete to Disley, the tight end. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off at the 39. The 20. And into the end zone, a pick six for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
On 1st and 10, Hayden. Flushed out right. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable. And that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Alex Highsmith there on the tackle.
Brings up second and 8 at the 24-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's second and 8. Once again, it's Mostert. Broke a tackle, but not much room there ultimately. Just up past the 25 and no further. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Niners on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun, Robertson. That swung out to Mostert. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Second down, here's Mostert again.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, Robertson.
Open man is Ayuk, complete.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert.
Fights loose, and he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
82 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
On 2nd down, Mostert.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line.
Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL, and all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play. 55 is marked out, 55. All right, T, let's go. All right, T.
The They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Here's Mostert. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
Watching you find. Check back, check back.
So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Here we go, here we go.
And on 4th down, they come up and take the knee. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. He's going to let it fly. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
On 3rd and 2, Payton. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Xavier Howard. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
And they'll indeed take a knee. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. So the victory here for San Francisco, and it was a game where they were off and running.